We go.
Hi, we're going to show you how to install the Meijer Inline for the Avanti cards. It's two boxes that you'll look for. They're white with the Avanti tape on them. You'll want to get the one that's marked tray box. That's what you'll need first. When you open it, the brackets are going to be on that top level. The dividers and everything else in there you can kind of put to the side. These are the first things that you need. Underneath that piece of cardboard then is the rest of the trays. They'll be packed in the order that you need to grab them. So the first one that you need has the top graphic channel mounted to it. That's the one you want to grab first. After you identify this tray, we're going to set the structure of this. And what you'll want to do, if it's one of the standard AG units, then you can go ahead and count down 9 slots from the top. If you want to mark a spot, that will help. But you'll come down 9, and that's the first slot that these brackets will eventually go into. While you're marking, if you want to count from the bottom, you're going to go 11 up from the bottom, and that's the support that we'll show you in a second. With this top tray, you're going to take the 2 top brackets. You want the safety tab on this to be pointing up. You'll need to insert them into... Oh, you got it. Okay. You'll want to insert it into... There's a channel in the top of this tray, and it just slides right in here. And they'll go in both sides and meet towards the middle. They won't go all the way.
So look how it should be when you're done. These loops should be pointing backwards, of course, and it points up.
Then you'll want to come down to that 9th slot that you had marked before and get these brackets into there. You'll kind of have to fight with this a little bit, but you can...
This will bend.
Yeah, it'll bend. Just go ahead and slide and engage it. Pull that back out.
Got to make sure that you got it square and that it sets down. Okay.
So once you have that set, you'll want to set the rest of the structure. You needed that for those loops on the back. You'll then take the other bar that was on that top level, it's the cross rail, and this goes in the bottom. And that was the 11th slot up from the bottom.
That's why you want to have it marked.
Just go slide it in and let it hang there. Then is the J supports. You'll take this hook that's at the top of it. You want to go behind the tray, find that loop that was on the bracket.
That loop's hidden from your view at this point, but if you remember the loop we saw, this bracket needs to be turned so it goes up through the loop, and then you turn it 90 degrees and hang it on that loop.
So you put it through horizontally this way, put it through, then pivot and bring back down, and it locks in there.
Same way, I'm going sideways, up, through, turn 90 degrees, and down.
Now you'll see down here that you want this support to finish out close to the bottom. If you're too long, then you need to adjust the height of your brackets. If you're too far off of this, you want to be about an inch, inch and a half. If you're more than that, then you'll need to lower it because you'll have too much of a gap at the bottom. If you want to take a tray and just kind of spot yourself, it'll finish out about there. So we're at a good depth here. You can move up and down to adjust the depth of this. If you need to go shallower, move this support down more. If you need to bring it out, move it up a couple slots, and that will...
Let's show them how that can work, Justine. Pull that away. Even with these still in place, if I wanted to try to move this out or in like she was just explaining, you can leave these in place, tip, pop these, and put them in either a higher slot or a lower slot, and it'll change the angle.
Once you get that set, you'll want to start to insert the rest of the trays. So you can take them one at a time. There are 2 different techniques that you can use. If you have space on either side, you can slide them in, but the other way is to snap them in. You'll see that there are 2 barrels on these trays. You want to use the top one for this so that the trays are closer together. We'll need that for the height on this display. So your top hook here is going to go into the top barrel at the bottom of the tray. So if you don't have the space and you need to clip it in, you get started on one side, get that hook in there, bring it over, engage the other side, and just let it drop. Just like that. You'll want 3 card trays first.
You gotta make sure you're getting to the top barrel here. If you put it in the bottom barrel, this display will become too long.
Just engage it and let it drop. After you have 3 card trays, you want to make sure you find the other graphic tray. If you're in the tall gondola, you're going to have the graphic tray. If you're in the short one, it will just be another card tray. You'll keep going. There is no graphics.
See how they identify that. It's got this white tape.
Yes, it has the white tape and it has no front to the pocket. So here you can see this is how you slide. You want to engage that in that top barrel still and just slide the length of it. So then you'll just hang the rest of the trays. Again, sliding might be easier for you guys. If you have the space, you can do that as well.
See, what she's saying is you couldn't, if we were trying to slide, you couldn't slide from this end, but you can see to slide from this end.
As you get to the bottom, you'll want to identify your trays. There is one tray that only has a single barrel at the bottom, and that should be the bottom tray. So leave that one for last. It'll be packed at the very bottom of the box.
Not a double barrel, only a single right here. This is the bottom tray.
See that I finished out right here at the bottom, so our height is good. Once you have the structure built, then you're going to do the end panels. You'll want to find your hardware pack that has the Christmas tree clip, your brackets, and a screw and wing nut in there. Obviously you do this before the product is set, but we're here with it. So you'll want to take your bracket, one goes on the left side of an end panel, one goes on the right. Put your screw through the hole and your wing nut to tighten it on there. You want some movability in here, but tighten it pretty well. Then you'll take, the bracket always goes on the inside, so this is my right panel. You want to take your Christmas tree clip, count to the 9th pocket, and at the bottom of the 9th pocket, you're going to insert this into the 2nd barrel. Just slide that in until it hits the plastic, and that's where your slot is going to ride over. So you'll take the end panel, you want to engage the slot first, get that lined up, and start to slide it down. That's how you find your bracket location up top. So once you start to engage there, you'll find your hook, come in here and hook it into the gondola. You'll do this on both sides. One thing to make note of, when you're setting the structure, you want to make sure that your trays are balanced on the brackets. So you'll want it even from both sides, otherwise you won't be able to get to the upright for this end panel. So you get one set, do the other. If you need to pull the trays out to get that pin in, you can do so. Get them both set, then you put your dividers in and fill it with product.